Hi everybody, it's Mr. Gray here. Thank you again for such a great week. We had a lot of fun stuff happen this week. As you know, we're doing a photography project, so if you can remember, help the kids remember to get their devices in on Tuesday. By this coming Tuesday, their job is to take the photos that they already took and get them into a Google Drive folder. So I know lots of people sent digital cameras. Hopefully you can help them get them on there already. It was really fun. We were taking pictures of an egg with light and shadow. And we were taking macro photos. We were zoomed up on really small things. So it's really fun. Next Tuesday will be a new topic. Also on Tuesday next week, we're doing a Valentine's Day party. The kids each have a secret Valentine. We're trying to kind of demystify or destigmatize the love aspect of Valentine's Day for our school. And so basically it's like a really kind or appreciative handmade letter the kids are making for one other student and a teacher. So they have to make 2 cards that are handmade and really nice and bring to school. We're taking care of the other part, so some students will be in charge of some games at the end of the day on Valentine's Day, and some students are baking and bringing in cookies for the whole class. So all in all, it'll be a really fun day, but we're really excited about that stuff. Some other upcoming things: next Friday the 17th, there is no school. The teachers are at school that day. Students are not at school Friday the 17th, and also Monday the 20th. No kids at school. It's President's Day holiday, so enjoy that nice 4-day weekend. That'll be great. We're going to do Read Across America Day coming up on March 2nd. I'll send out some information next week about what that's going to look like and some ideas I have for that. We'll basically use it as like a book donation event where you guys can actually donate a book to the class, but we're going to kind of do it in a special way. And then the very last thing is Girls Talk. I sent out some information, but families with daughters, hopefully you can fill out an RSVP form by March 1st. There's a link on the updates page. In Reader's Workshop, the kids just finished this week reading Alexander Hamilton, The Outsider, which is a really great book. We got to look at a little bit of the Hamilton musical. I think I told you this before, but we'll be taking in a couple of the songs from that musical and just referring to it because it really outlines some of the themes of that time really nicely. We're staying away from any kind of bad or inappropriate language, but just know that might be a question as kids come home. They might go like, what's this musical? And I'm not encouraging them to watch it or anything, but just know that might be a conversation that happens. Anyway, we read Alexander Hamilton, The Outsider, last week, and it really had a great history of both Alexander Hamilton, but also about George Washington, the Revolutionary War. This coming week, we're going to read I Survived, The American Revolution, 1776. And what we're going to do is use that really short week. It's a really kind of quick book. It's a fun read. And it's a really good opportunity. We're going to practice this idea where the kids are going to be more in charge of their own book clubs starting the next week. The last 6 weeks before spring break will be focused on American Revolution book clubs. So I have a whole bunch of different books in groups of 4. So the kids are going to read a book, do some work, and then turn in like a little final project. But we're going to actually practice the kids being the ones who kind of make the work. So they're going to be the ones who kind of set the pace of the reading, figure out what their project is going to be, and they're going to have to go through me to get approval, but they're going to kind of work on that, and so next week will be a test run. They're going to be really in charge of all those things. In Writer's Workshop, we just finished our second argument essay. Now, in these last 2, I chose the prompts because I had curated research. The kids could use articles and videos that I had already found. In this last one, we want to give them a little bit more independence, so they get to choose the topic. They submitted their topics already, what they are hoping to research, and I have to go through them and make sure we don't have any overlap and make sure their topics make sense for doing research on and have a strong claim and some reasons and some evidence that they can find. And they're going to actually do the research. Similar to reading, where we want them to kind of establish a little more independence, they're going to kind of set the pace. What am I going to do each day to finish this assignment? So that'll start on Monday, and then they'll have to turn it in on Friday. We won't be at school on Friday, but they'll turn it in digitally, by Thursday night. So they'll have some more independence in that way, but they'll be working on their 3rd research-based argument essay before we move on to our next topic. In social studies, there's so much happening. The Revolutionary War and the American Revolution and the things leading up to that take up such an important role in 5th grade that we're really focusing a lot on that. You already know we're reading a lot about that. In history and social studies, the kids are making a digital timeline, and they're turning in the first half of the timeline next Thursday. And we studied a bunch of important events leading up to the revolution. On Friday, we're studying the Boston Tea Party. We just looked at the Boston Massacre and some other of these taxes and things that come up from the king and Parliament that are enacted on the colonies that are kind of making the colonists really upset. And so the kids are making a digital timeline of that. We're going to get through the intolerable acts before they turn in the first half of their timeline next week, and then we'll continue at the last few causes in the beginning of the Revolutionary War. After that, then the week after, they'll be able to turn in their final timeline with everything on there. And it's really neat if you ask the kids to see it. It's on Google Slides, and they make a full timeline, and as you click on each event, it takes you to more information about those events, and they've put that together, which is really kind of a cool thing and a great way to organize it, and another great tool to be able to use. The other things we're doing in social studies are we're going to start the Great State Project, which is a project about state. Kids are going to choose a state, so we'll get through 33 of them, and they're going to do some research. Now, on Monday, they're going to come home and talk to you. I'm going to ask parents just to help with one part. Basically, all the states have a tourism hotline that you can call and get information. So that's going to be part of the students' project, is to actually call that hotline and get some information about their state. There's a bunch of other things they have to do as well, but that's going to be something I'm going to ask parents to be around for. We don't want them just calling, the hotline on their own. So hopefully at some point you can help them with that. And so the state project will have that as a piece of it and several other pieces, and that will be due the next week on Thursday the 23rd. And then we're going to do a little bit more once everyone has all their posters up. We're going to go in the NPR and put those up and look around, so it's going to be really cool. In science, the kids are still focused on this availability of fresh water, and so we'll do some more watching of a video and looking at information to kind of construct this knowledge of how fresh water is used and how much there is around the world. No vocabulary again this week, and for a couple more weeks. We're working on their third chit chat speech the kids got. Those will start the first week of March, maybe the second week of March, and it's all about the kids are choosing a topic to teach. So they had to submit what they wanted to do for that, and again, I kind of had to look through them to see if it worked for a little quick 3-minute speech. But they're actually going to teach something to the class, and so they're really thinking about that and working on what that's going to look like. So that's going to take up their focus for this week and for the coming weeks. That's all I have for you. As always, if you have any questions or comments or anything, please let me know. Have a great weekend. Bye.